Yo, what's up? This your boy Derek Brunch here, same discussions on Strike 7 Sports. Today I just want to talk about a recent article that was put out by um, Saints Wire over there at USA Today by John Siegler. And that's news concerning Tennessee Vols quarterback Hendon Hooker and the possibility of him, the idea of him being mocked to the Saints. And he's in the recent draft that was put out by Draft Wire, the same outlet over there by falls under USA Today. Draft Wire, USA.com, put out by Draft Wire's Luke Easter League. And I'm just going to go ahead and just read the piece. I got this over. I pulled this article over from Saints Wire and just posted it to a Word document. Just for some reason, odd reason, man. Some of these sites I load up to my computer on my laptop, and the ads kind of like slow it down. It's hard for me to scroll to read some of these stories. So I'm just gonna go ahead. I just went ahead and pulled it, and cut and pasted it into a Word document. So I'm just going to read the piece that was put out by Siegler and just share my thoughts on it afterwards. This isn't going away. Everyone knows the New Orleans Saints will be looking at quarterbacks in 2023, and the upcoming draft class brings them opportunities. But one prospect has been linked to the Saints more frequently than many of his peers, and in spite of a season-ending injury, former Tennessee Vols volunteer passer Hendon Hooker landed with the Saints in a recent 2023 mock draft from Luke Easterling over at DraftWire, going off the board at number 36 overall. He's consistently being connected to the Saints early in the second round of mock drafts from the NFL media landscape, and there's a lot to like about Hooker as a prospect. He throws an accurate ball, he avoids turnovers, and he can make plays with his legs. There are also areas of concern on Hooker's scouting report. NFL teams will fret about his age. He will be 25 in January, old for a first-year pro. His experience in the Vols offense full of half reads, and his injury. He won't be able to throw at his pro day or go through pre-draft workouts, and some teams will be hesitant to draft him highly because of it. But there's plenty to like too. They've got dozens of games to watch and study, and that should be enough to build his case. But teams overthink these things all the time. Says Ziegler. So what about that injury? Hooker tore his ACL on a non-contact play while executing a read option in mid-November. He's on a similar recovery timeline to Joe Burrow in 2020 and Deshaun Watson in 2017, each of whom suffered ACL tears in November but were ready to start the following season. He won't run the 40-yard dash or go through drills at the combine like other prospects, but he should be ready to work at training camp next summer in preparation of starting week 1. Now, whether he'll be ready to start in the NFL right away remains to be seen, especially in a complicated offense like New Orleans. Tennessee's system didn't ask Hooker to do a ton of work pre-snap, instead relying on timing and a sense of urgency to quickly run plays before the defense can stub out personnel in response, and that's fine. Teams win like that every week in the NFL. If the Saints draft Hooker, they'll need to change these things. Need to change things. All right, they need to change things to get the most out of him. But to be honest, they should be changing things this offseason anyway. So will Hooker even be on their radar? We'll have to wait and see. But he should be. He's in he's an accomplished prospect at their biggest position of need, and he'll likely be available once they're on the clock. But we're months out from anything real on this front. So for now, all we can do is speculate and compare mock drafts. And the only certainty right now is the Saints are widely expected to be in the market for a new quarterback in 2023. All right, so that's the end of that story, written by John Siegler. Shouts out to Saints Wire and the entire crew. All right, so here are my thoughts on that. I wouldn't have an issue if it takes Hendon Hooker in the second round of the draft. I've watched the guy play a few times this season. Watched him play last year. The guy's a really good quarterback. Can move out of the pocket. Can throw. Can make the throws from the pocket. That's one of the biggest things I look for in a quarterback and an athletic quarterback. Throw up the pocket throw from the pocket first. Be accurate. Then run as your second option. You know. Now don't rely too much on your athleticism as a quarterback. But all of this is assuming that the Saints don't get a first round pick for Sean Payton. If they're able to get a first round pick for Payton wherever he goes, I'm pretty sure the Saints may not take Hooker in that first round. Because if they get into a spot to where they have an opportunity to grab somebody like Will Levis, a name like that, that's the most likely going to happen. Draft for Will Levis, the guy out of Coastal Carolina, I think his name is McCall. Coastal Carolina starting QB's last name is McCall, but hearing that he's expected to go into the first round as well. So we'll see how everything plays out. But other than that, yeah, Grayson McCall, that's his name. Other than that, man, I have an issue with Hendon Hooker, man. It's just this coaching staff that I'm more worried about, and it's this system that the Saints have had for years. The Drew Brees offense, ran by Sean Payton, Drew Brees. I just don't think that it may be too advanced for a lot of these quarterbacks coming out of college right now. Some things need to be simplified going forward. It wouldn't hurt. It wouldn't be a bad idea to possibly move on from Pete Carmichael, man, and just bring somebody new in with some fresh set of ideas, And also, man, injury, with his medical staff, I just think there's some things that are going on that behind the scenes with that medical staff, the way they've messed up with the injuries, the handling of the injuries, and things like that. Is this guy gonna come in and be ready to go by the time training camp start? And is he, is there a chance he sees some action next year? If we have to, that ain't because we saw with Jameis Winston. We saw that he tore the ACL, the ACL and slash MCL, the injury. Went to main camp still struggling with a limp, and he had suffered another injury during training camp session. So he just never was right after that, and that could be he could go down that Hooker can go down that same path if the injury is not rehabbed correctly, if certain procedures aren't taken with his injury. Even I know it's a torn ACL, and a lot of quarterbacks have bounced back for it, but without medical staff, you never know. You know what I'm saying? But he's a quarterback that I do like. I know he's 25 years old, but you still got him with the rules are. The rules are set up. You got him for a good 10 to 15 years. 10 to 15 year start if everything plays out. You know what I'm saying? He turns 25 in what they believe is January, from what I read. In the piece, he turns 25. That's still young. You know what I'm saying? That's still young for a quarterback. I know that's still young for a first year pro, in my opinion, compared to what they say. And I know that quarterback should be, 21, 22, 23 coming out of college, but it is what it is. The guy wanted them to go somewhere where he can, put himself in the best position possible to be selected, and it's paying off for him. And this is unfortunate that injury went down. The injury occurred against South Carolina, but I think he'd be a really good quarterback in this system. in this with this football team. I don't know if he starts next year, but I wouldn't mind. He would be a guy quarterback that the Saints should seriously consider taking. That's if the that trade for Peyton don't go through, or they don't get the compensation that they were looking to get. But I'm expecting the Saints to get a first round pick. I'm expecting them to get a first round pick for Peyton, man, because what he did with his team last year and go 9-8 and just miss the playoffs, he's that good, and he warrants a first round pick, or multiple first round picks, in my opinion. He's that type of coach. You know, it's just the things that the Saints got to get figured out, man, in regards to this quarterback position, um, play calling, why it was so timid, things of that matter. They just got to get those things figured out, man, and see how they're gonna go in the future. Because they can look at another veteran, in my opinion, that they can add to this team and keep it in contention, get them back to playoff contention. There's some names out there that I might, do some content on down the road, that something to think about, but we'll see. All right, that's all I have for y'all for right now, man. Give me a like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Let me know how you feel about the Saints, and the idea of them taking Hendon Hooker in the second round of the draft. Also, check out strike7sports.com/Saints for latest content on the One Saints organization. Have a blessed night. Peace. I'm out. Who that?